Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. This is, of course, the sequel to Sister Act, starring Whoopi Goldberg. This is from 1993. It's an hour and 47 minutes long. It's literally was released 1 year after the original. The original was 1992, I think, and it's a sequel that pretty much sort of redoes what the original did. Brings Whoopi's character, Sister Mary Clarence. Why have I completely blanked on her name? Her name's really name is Dolores, but she Sister Mary Clarence. Yeah, yeah. So Dolores is dragged back from her job as a Vegas headliner, not a showgirl, a Vegas headliner, where she puts on elaborate shows and doing old 50s, 60s girl group songs, just sort of mashing them up. So she's having a good time doing that when the nuns just return to ask her help to become a teacher, a music teacher, obviously. And of course, the kids are not exactly up for that, for anybody teaching them anything. So that's the entire opening premise of of the film. Uh, of course, just like in the first one, it comes to her to give a voice to this time not the nuns, but the students in her class who are pretty much just not interested. So I just said that, didn't I? Yeah. And of course, in her class just happens to be Lauren Hill. Lauren Hill playing a girl named, why have I blanked on her name as well? Lauren Hill's playing Rita Watson. So yeah, her mom doesn't want her to sing because her dad wanted to be a singer and he died trying to fulfill his dream because it didn't pay the bills. Of course, there's everything possible getting in their way to actually becoming a cohesive group that actually cares about singing. Um, it's also one of those kind of cliche, no, very cliche, I should say. We got to sing to save the school or the orphanage or the teen center. In this case, it's the school that the kids all go to. They're going to shut it down at the end of the semester because it's more valuable as a parking lot rather than a school, a Catholic school. So one guy who's kind of the boss of all these guys, he is more intent getting the school closed down because more than likely he's going to profit from it somehow, some other way. So, yeah, he's but played by James Coburn though. You hear the voice, and it's just he doesn't strike you as James Coburn exactly at that moment, but when you hear the voice, you're just like, oh, okay, yes. Um, so he's sort of the big bad. Of course, the nuns and some of the fathers in the church and some of the other monks, I guess, because they wear the robes with the rope belts and stuff. They're kind of goofy. Everybody gets into it. Once they hear that the kids can actually sing when Whoopi gets them going, and then they enter them into a national contest down in L.A. What could happen? What could go wrong? And will the kids be able to live up to all those expectations? So, and will they be stopped by angry mothers or infighting within the group, or I don't know. It's it pretty run. It runs. It's a by the numbers kind of thing. It's fairly predictable, but and of course the big musical number, which is yes, it's big, it's huge, it's flashy. How can they ever compete against all these other very good schools and singing groups? Uh, but of course, they put their twist on an old classic and give it a cool teen hip hop twist by throwing in some Janet Jackson sound alikes and a little bit of OPP, a little God kind of thing. So, yeah, it's a little corny in that way, but it's the music's fun. It's uplifting. It's exciting. You cheer the kids on and you feel for them and you want them to succeed. When of course at the beginning of the film they ain't wanting to have nothing to do with no singing in a choir. So That's not how they sound, because I'm a white guy and I really should not be doing voices of disaffected youth in urban San Francisco. So, anyway, by the way, Jennifer Love Hewitt is in this. I mean, not only a teenage Lauryn Hill, but a teenage Jennifer Love Hewitt make their appearances in this. So it's kind of funny when you're just like, hey, I know you, I recognize you. But yeah, it's got a fun cast, good music, and it's not a movie that needed to be made really. You could ask Whoopi. Whoopi reportedly hated. She was miserable making this movie. She only did it because Disney offered her the rights to produce some other films that she wanted to make. So the deal that often happens in Hollywood, in order to get a film that you want to get made, you got to make a film that the studio wants you to make. And that was the sequel to the big moneymaker, Sister Act. So it works out. And yeah, it's not a movie that you need to see, but I think it's kind of a fun movie that you can put on in the background when you're cleaning the house in the middle of the day, on a Sunday afternoon maybe, and get a little religion in you while you're cleaning. But yeah, I like the movie. It could be a whole lot worse. It's not a life changing movie. It's not original by any means. But it's harmless, and Kathy Najimy, oh gosh, Bernard Hughes, oh Maggie Smith, McGonagall. There we go. My brain was just not working for a second there, but yeah, Michael Jeter. I said James Coburn, Mary Wicks, who's hilarious. She's the older nun, and I mean, this is some classic old Hollywood in this. So that's kind of great to see them taking part in this, and it's a good goofy comedy. Doesn't hurt. So, all right, let's pick tomorrow's episode. Again, yesterday I accidentally wiped the previously selected numbers here, so there's a good chance we might get a number we had already, which we've been able to avoid. Normally, once it picks a number, it can't pick it again until I wipe it. Well, I wiped it like a dummy a little bit too early. So let's pick the next number and hope it's correct. Hope it's something we haven't had yet.
562.
562. Let's see. 562. Oh, there we go. I think this is Pixar. Yeah, it's Pixar. I mean, it's Disney Animation or it's Pixar, but I'm pretty sure it's Pixar. It's one of the little lesser seen Pixar films, but we're gonna watch it. I used to watch it before I ever saw it originally. I used to see it in the taco place I would go to every Tuesday. In the background, the little kids section, they would play it on a loop, and I would always see pieces of it until I finally sat down and watched it. But I'm gonna watch it again. 562 is The Good Dinosaur. So that's what we're seeing tomorrow. The Good Dinosaur on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.